Vegas himself, Wayne Newton. A legendary man in this world and any other. Feel free to take a seat, sir. We will be doing sort of an audience Q&A. Hello. Where's that coming from? We will be doing an audience Q&A. One last person I want to introduce, of course, that you just met, Mickey Dowling from Obsidian.
You all again, Mikey Dowling from Obsidian. So I was very, very involved with the VO process of the game. We said it earlier in the other panel, but we had to basically make sense out of 62,000 lines of dialogue and make them all covered, and then cut a chunk of them from the game and still make the game work. But yes, who else would you get other than Mr. Las Vegas himself? And it was life-changing because I've never worked with actors before. I just kind of had to figure out really quickly on how to organize scripts that were the best way to read these very confusing dialogue trees that we write. Wayne probably had it easier than everyone because most of that is just monologuing for a while without having to do too much variation, whereas all three, Chris, Keith, and Jason had to give this like, I'm happy, I'm angry, I'm sad, I like you, kind of.
What we call the ABC reads.
Yeah. But it'll just flow out of chunks and chunks. So I do want to give it over to you all. You kind of made this game, the fans have made it.
Matter is, I feel wonderful. It has been one of the highlights of my life. Having people write me, sending cards and letters and say things like Mr. Las Vegas would say, you know, sign it this way, sign it that way. It's been wonderful, and all of you have been incredible, and you're the reason we exist today. Thank you.
Man, how are you going to top that, Jason? Let's go.
Yeah, I'm just going to pass the mic over here. What a pleasure to sit next to you, sir. Wow, man. Yeah, it's surreal, you know. As an actor, you work on something, you hope people, you know, look at it once. You never think people are going to covet it like you guys, and then
my first thought was, what the hell am I doing here? I asked enough questions and finally got the right answers, and it was really a joy to do that and to realize that those lines last a lifetime. Like, remember, you're nobody till somebody loves you, and I love you.
Keith or Jason, I mean, you've been doing games, you've been doing animation forever. But Fox was a Fallout script something that you were like, what are you even doing with my mind right now? This is as a companion for the base game. But then it was never going to get it in time. So when Avalon wrote The Road, we already had our actor. We just wanted to bring it back. And we only had audio logs for everyone else. And I was like, well, these two people would fit that worked on the base game. They're chameleons. Let's get them back in real quick and just go. So that's kind of how that stuff comes together. My biggest challenge was really making sure that when you got a script, it made sense. Just with how all those lines are, and knowing that we had to block off certain monologue parts and things like that. So to touch on that, like I know these scripts were wild, right? Because you see what we call nodes, but Excel sheets of just things. I tried to block them out as monologues as best I could if it was flowing into each other.
I was more at ease working with you and the other people I was working with, but I kept going back to listening in my mind to all of the radio announcers I have known over the years and how they reacted, how they approached the scene, or how they approached what it was they were saying. And you guys just made it very easy for me. And I will be very grateful for that for the rest of my life, because not only did I enjoy it, I look forward to the next one.
I did the same. I used all the cold-blooded killers that I knew to. That I knew. Right, that I knew.
You've done a few of those.
Well, I come from Chicago, so.
Mikey, can I ask about the Chris Walken lines that we had recorded?
I mean, you can ask me the saddest answer you've ever gotten. But go for it.
So just imagine we recorded about 10 lines with myself doing an impression as Christopher Walken. Let's hear it.
Let's hear it.
We tried. No. And the more I think of you, the less I think of you. You have me smooth skin. Come to the community center and I'll do that, for signatures.
So is your question, why didn't those make it in?
I'm always intrigued, but I'm assuming because
I haven't played it because I went through a period where I would play games and just waste like a week, so I had to to be responsible. So through you guys educated me on Boone's backstory, reminded me his backstory. There's a YouTube video that I did research that kind of explained everything and reminded me of some of the, because people would ask like, what's your favorite quote? I'm like, oh, what's yours? Yeah, it's usually like on the last thing you never see. And he says, "You son of a bitch alive," which I like that as well. Mr. Dune, I want to ask you: have you played the game?
No, sir.
No? Well, you and I together will do that on our Twitch feed. Okay.
I never played any of the games that I've been on, all 100 and some of them, but my children did, and I would often hear coming from one of the rooms, "I just killed Dad!" I'm so happy to fulfill their Oedipal urges that way.
And I have had a blast killing myself without killing myself. So many times. It's weird, but it's fun. As far as for playing in a character, like with a character in the booth, for one of the DLCs for 76, there was a game guide and a dream sequence, and we decided on a Vincent Price light, and we were crying, crying. Vincent Price is harder for me to do. But
I made you do it
like
for
this.
I had Chris do this impression for me over the phone.
Mask of the Red Death, yes. And he was like this all day long and would walk through and teach you things. And we were crying though. We were literally crying the whole entire session. So it couldn't get in. Because the lines were just too funny. It doesn't match the IP if you're going in and going into this dream sequence and you're making everybody laugh. It's not a comedic game. You can have a little bit of that humor in it, but I would love for it to be inserted at some point in time, since 76 is still a live game. Yeah. So maybe we can all hit up the developers to get it in there at some point.
Having to be me, singing a song, talking to an audience, and you know that everybody in the audience and all of you are hearing the story that you want to hear, which means that nobody is copying the story. It goes to each one of you you take it to the place that you want to take it to, and that's where you're happy. And so from that standpoint, I think my work at night worked with this also, because those lines took me right to where I wanted to go. And I think it has everybody who produced it.
I think on my end, it's wild. I think Brian touched on it a little bit in the previous panel. Like, we work on the thing, it goes out, and it really does.
That what Ken and all of these people have been doing, and all of you have contributed your hearts, your souls, and your money to St. Jude. And it is just absolutely incredible to enjoy something this much that brings that kind of healing and happiness to the world. And so, I thank you.
Just, I want to direct something back to you there, but this sort of the same theme, because you talk about hope. One of the most unique things about this fandom that I've been playing video games my whole life, but I've never seen the way in which fans have so bonded and found family and friendship and marriages and loves and boyfriends and girlfriends here in this community. And it's amazing. I've never seen anything like it. And so many of you have shared stories over the years and all the fundraising that we've done and community events of what the games mean to you, which is so much more than just the game itself. It's connection, it's hope, it's finding your place and choosing your path. And so many of you have been through shit where you're going through terrible relationships and tough times in your life, and Fallout becomes an escape. It becomes a world in which, in the worst circumstances possible, you decide the road you want to walk. And that is what it's about.
I lost my 30s. My 30s were gone in these games, and I don't regret a second of it.
Just to mention one thing, because Wayne had mentioned St. Jude, so Fallout for Hope, we started this in December of 2020. We are now, I'm very proud to say, just $3,000 short of this community of gamers raising $1 million. That's gamers who get all sorts of bad press all the time, giving life-changing surgeries, chemotherapy, oxygen for kids that are fighting for their lives, and that's pretty fucking amazing. But also, Wayne has a story to tell. So St. Jude Children's Research Hospital is one of the most remarkable charities in the world. No family ever gets a bill in a world where we're always crushed by medical bills. Founded by Danny Thomas, that was a very good friend of Wayne Newton. So this cause is very personal to you too.
It is very personal. In fact, I appeared with Danny Thomas at the Sands Hotel when it existed before they tore it down. And we did a show every single year to raise money for St. Jude in Memphis. And I was a part of that show every single year. And so it's coming home for me. Thank you.
And one last thing, because I have another...
The game playing yourself.
It was wonderful because I didn't have to work very hard.
That guy with the hat and the beard over there, he's been waving at everybody.
So my name is Tyler. I just want to say, first and foremost, thank you so much for being here. My question for each of you is, if you were to give one piece of advice for aspiring actors, what is one piece of advice you would give to everybody?
If you were to give one piece of advice to aspiring actors, what would it be? Don't do it. And if that's enough to dissuade you, then you don't want to do this.
Yeah, I often give that answer as well. That's for a couple of reasons. Selfishly, because I don't need the competition. Thanks. We're good. But also, like the reality of it, it's challenging. Yeah, it's fun. We're very blessed. This lottery ticket hit pretty good for us. But it's a lot of rejection, man, and you're judged on. For me, my height, your hair color, it's not you're now your followers. But if it's your dream, man, follow it and get the fix by joining local theater, start an improv group, do stand up, get yourself out there. Yeah.
The lady in the back.
Can I answer real quick?
No, I covered it. Well, no.
I actually teach a business of voiceover class.
Love you, Wayne.
So for anybody here who's interested in learning the business of voiceover, just how many categories you can work in, just go to leonardoaudio.com and sign up for the newsletter.
There's a lady in the back who wanted to talk, and then we'll get the three people up front. She's done. Okay, you, sir.
Mr. Wayne Newton, can I sing one of your songs for you?
I want to sing one of your songs to you.
Alright, I'll try to be loud. I need you guys to help.
No pressure.
Alright. Oh yeah, can I come up there?
Yeah.
Yeah, come on up.
He's so cinematic. Come on over here.
I'm singing in the rain, just singing in the rain.
You're making my dreams come true, Mr. Newton. Thank you so much. I feel there's something on your mind every time I hold you tight. When we kiss and say goodnight, I feel that something is wrong. Am I coming on too strong? La 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 la, coming on too strong. Coming on too strong. La, coming on too strong. You say you don't like boys fast, but it's the only way I can look at you and say, here in my arms is where you belong. Am I coming on too strong?
Round of applause!
All right, we have karaoke tonight, I think. So, I think there is a guy over here. Yeah.
Have him wear. If you could design your.
Gotta be a tux.
A tuxedo, of course. When I started in Las Vegas at the age of 15 years old, I came to Vegas and I said to the gentleman who booked us at the Fremont downtown, what should I wear? And he said, a tux, of course. I didn't have a tux. I had never owned a tux. And so I went out and rented the tuxedo. So there you go.
There's a young man right there with his hand up, right there. Yeah.
I can say that you are nobody till somebody loves you. And that is us. We love you.
Well, thank you.
100%.
There's somebody over there, right there with the hood on. Yeah.
Put your, see things from someone else's eyes. We're not having as much of that as we should today in society. So try to see things like other people see them and feel them. And if they are feeling bad,
About Mr. Vegas. And it would be, the Las Vegas movie, Vegas Vacation.
I got to, I'm a prolific audiobook narrator. I've narrated about 6.
Mr. Wayne, I don't remember hardly anything. It was a good time. You guys are very nice. I won't embarrass myself any further. You must have a great stories from this experience.
I think for me, working Mr. De Vegas was such a joy because of the people I got a chance to work with and learn from in a way that I had not gone through before. So that would be easily my favorite.
I'm going to selfishly take this because I got 2 stories from Wayne while we were setting up for the B-roll. Just getting prepared and how we're going to shoot it and everything. And I love Dean Martin. I grew up with him through my grandparents. And Wayne Newton told me two of my favorite Dean Martin stories I've ever heard in my life. And I was wondering if you would be able to tell those now. So it's not just me who has this burden.
Two-word name. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Dean Martin and I became very good friends. And when he was asked to do a variety show on television, he asked me to be on the first show. And of course I was thrilled, and so that meant that I had to fly to Los Angeles every day for 5 days, come back after rehearsing all day with the orchestra, and do my show that I'm paid to do here, right? And so out of 5 days of commuting to Los Angeles, Dean did not show up for one rehearsal. Didn't show, right? So we were doing a medley honoring Al Jolson, and so I put the medley together and I rehearsed the orchestra and the whole thing. And on the 5th day, which was the day we were to shoot it, his manager came downstairs and said, "Wayne, go ahead and do the medley. The old man will catch up with you." I go upstairs to film the medley, and standing in the spot that we were to film was Dean. Now, I have bronchial asthma and have had it as a child my entire life. So, I'm going to tell you 3 things. It is challenging to sing with someone who is smoking at the same time. 2, Dean didn't look at me the whole time we were singing. And so if I'm singing to you, I'm looking at you as I sing to you, right? Dean's looking here, and he's looking here. And I realized halfway through the medley that that's where the cue cards were. And so I did something at the end of the medley that was a total surprise to Dean and his producer. As we went into, I started performing at the age of 3 years old by singing at church with my mother. There was a gentleman in the congregation that had a radio show. This was in Roanoke, Virginia. And he convinced my mother that I should come on that radio show and sing once a week. And so that's how I started in show business. And, just never quit.